Hello everybody, it's Big Al with some more content from Lord of the Rings, Rise to War. So today I'm going to do a season update and throw in a couple tips while I'm doing it. So today we took Dol Guldur. We are trying to rush the server chapter progressions because we want this server to end early. And I will start with talking about the season chapters. So, chapters 1 through 9, they are on a timer. You cannot speed those chapters up. But once you hit chapter 10, these can be completed as soon as the task is completed. And one thing to note is the wording. So, chapter 10, it's any faction occupies 3 faction capitals. It's not significant structures, it's faction capitals. So, that's very important to know. And once you complete that, Dol Guldur unlocks. We took Dol Guldur, and that chapter finishes. And the last one is any faction occupies 5 faction capitals, including Dol Guldur. So pretty much that's Dol Guldur and 4 other capitals. Not significant structures, capitals. So we are on day 28. I'm going to give you a view of the map. So, obviously, we are Erebor. We are the baby blue. Lothlorien and Angmar are our allies. And you have Linden over here, Arnor over here, which is very small faction. Not many people in it, but they're trying to do what they can. You have Rohan in the green, Gondor, which also has a couple keeps up here. And then you have Mordor. So the last few days I have spent in Moria with a small team, and more people came after we finished a couple of the other tasks. But the objective here was to slow down Rohan because Angmar was getting double teamed by Rohan and Linden. So we came over here and we fought with Rohan to buy Lothlorien time to get into a position to where they could get into the fight, and it also relieved pressure off of Angmar. It's no fun for any team to get double teamed, but it happens. So now that we took DG, Dol Guldur, Lothlorien is in a position. It's going to be Lothlorien and Angmar against Linden and Rohan. And we are not going to interfere. We still have a couple of the center keeps to take and the passes. But for now, as you can see, I'm going to show you where we're at. I am down here by this Daggerland Pass. We are fighting Mordor at the moment. We will also be fighting Gondor here in the Dead Marshes, which Gondor has access to, and so does Erebor at this moment through Black 8. So the rest of the season, it's more of a friendly season. The season's pretty much decided. We have the ring. It really doesn't look like it's going to be in any danger for the season. And all we are doing is we can have a friendly server now. We don't need the trash talking and all of the rest of that. So I'm going to go down to the Daggerland Pass. Well, Mordor had 2 fortresses building. I flew down to right here to my fort with my main with eagles, and I broke both of them with my eagles. Then they started rebuilding, and I came over here and captured this one, and we broke that fortress that was building, and we are going to be pushing into Mordor. We are still getting into position as Dome. Loda has been down here most of the season fighting Mordor. So, and here's one tip, okay? You see I'm down here at the Ashen Plains Pass. Sorry, I said Daggerland earlier. It's Ashen's Pass. My base is over here. So just a regular march time to get to my fort over here, it took 3.5 hours. So here is the tip. Put eagles on your main formation and fly into the fort. That cut my march time down to 51 minutes. And then you take, preferably, Merry and Pip with one Shire pony and transport troops into the barracks. So what I had done is I flew Frodo over his lineup with full eagles, and that's what I was attacking the fortresses with because we hadn't moved beyond the tunnel at that point. And then I put ground troops into the fortress so that after I was done with the eagles, I could switch right away to my ground troops. It is also a smart thing to have a second fort going. I have one farther back up here. Sorry, the game's being slow. I have a fort somewhere in here also. Actually, right there. So that I can have more troops put into it. That way I never run out of troops and I can keep transporting troops. Even though it's a 3+ hour march, it's only a 30-minute, give or take, 30-minute transport time for troops. So I have two troops ready, two transporting troops, armies, which is Merry and Pip with one Shire pony, and then I have Aramor with one Shire pony. So I have them going around the clock to fill the barracks up with troops. I will show you a couple reports. So I'm going to start with the armies for Dol Guldur. So the armies for Dol Guldur are big. They are level 50s. They are all 3 stars, 3 refined gear, 3 battle skills. And they are all running T4 units. With my lineup, I was able to kill 1 3/4 of an army on my Frodo line. And this is important also to have a decent B team because you want them to help with keeps, you want them to help with farming bigger tiles, killing siege. You really don't want a B team to be fighting as much as your A team, only for when your A team is out of stamina. So even with my B team, I killed, say 40% of this army, and then I killed, a little bit over 50% on this army. So it does help. A couple experiments I'm doing with troops. So here is some of the reports when I was flying eagles, which was nice. As you can see, he's using a mix of different troops. This is when I broke the fort and was occupying. Then I got hit by a couple other armies. There is a lot of people that will use T2 cavalry just so that they can produce the troops faster and stay in the fights. He's got the dragoons, which unfortunately for him, my eagles counter, so I get a buff on that. And then, as you can see, I got taken out. The third army that hit me pretty much wiped me, and then the 4th army just finished me off. And then this one, Mr. Lau, he's pretty big. He's been getting a lot of PvP. I've heard his name quite a bit from LoTR because, like I said, they have been down in this area most of the season. So, as you can see, he's just starting out with Sauron. He's got the R10 Shadow that he ascended, and he has his relic for. You got Witch King R4, which a lot of people are starting to put respect into because after some of the changes, he is definitely in the meta. And then you have Kamal. So he's a pretty good guy, pretty big guy. So that was a nice hit. And then I also have one that I forgot to put in there that I wanted to show. is this is after I switched to cavalry units. And this is going to be helpful to players that play role play that don't have access to taunting troops. Frodo and Sam Falcon, they are tanks. So you want to direct damage to them. So by me putting Ram Riders on Frodo and Gandalf the Grey, and then a ranged unit on Dane and the Shire ponies on Gimli, I'm directing most of the attacks to hit either Gandalf or Frodo. Yes, some attacks will still hit the other two, but the majority of them are going to hit my tank, which is Frodo, or Gandalf, that's the support. So I won this fight, obviously, but it wasn't bad. He did pretty good. And he's no slouch. He's got R13 Sauron. Wow, with a heavily strengthened unique, well, they call it relics now. The R10 Lurtz. Again, somebody that's just starting to build out Witch King. Because in version 1.0, Witch King was really big. And then he kind of fell off, so people ignored him. And then he's got Saruman. He's got a good start to it. Definitely the better two armor and accessories for him. He's got the gray hat, which gives a lot of focus. And then he's got the Morgul blade. The important things here are the commander damage and the commander focus. So just like on a physical damage dealer, you want commander damage plus commander attack. Well, him you want the focus. So he's got a pretty nice Saruman going right there. You know, once he gets everything strengthened up and refined, and maybe he can get a couple of these pieces to get the gear effect. So I really like his Sauron. You know, he's not worried about speed on it. He's just worried about some focus and command. So he's going to use him mostly for the tank. He's hoping that he will survive. So, as you can see, our season is starting to wrap up and it's friendly, but we are going to be going for Barad-dûr. I am saying that because it's not really a secret. We want to get that 5th faction capital so we can progress the season and hopefully get it to end sooner. So we have almost, as it sits now, 32 days left on what the server is, hopefully ending 5 to 7 before that. So we talked about the season updates. Oh, I didn't show the leaderboards. Let me go to the leaderboards. Personal production, a lot of people take stock into this. I don't care as much about personal production. As long as I have the resources I need, I'm not greedy because I make the most out of what I got. So I'm able to stay in the fight longer because I build things inside of my personal production. Meaning I'm not going to build only T4s because I have low personal production. I'm going to build some T4s, but I'm also throwing in cheap T3 units like Guardians or things like that. So merit, and this is for the whole server. Handless Monkey is number 1 with 2.4. Drugs and Zombies is 2.4 million. Arundel from Linden is 2.4. So we got a good mix in here from just about all the factions, the bigger factions. You know, I'm at 34 with 1 million, which again, I'm not that big of a fighter. I love siege. I love building formations. I love doing side missions. So we go all the way down. You know, there's lots of fighting going on. Good mix. As far as fellowships, we are still number 1 in personal production with 2.2 million. You have Dawn, which is Angmar, with 1.8, Loda with 1.7. And then you keep going down. You have Rohan, some Gundor, some Mordor. We got Lothlorien in here. So at least it's somewhat of an active server. So that's pretty much what I got today. So I explained the season update. I explained how to get to battlefields faster using eagles and then transporting troops. Showed some of the leaderboards, some reports. I hope some of this helps people. I will be making a couple other videos. If you would like some a video on a certain topic, no matter what it is, siege or different tips or a commander, please write me and let me know, either in game or on the YouTube channel. Leave a comment and ask for certain contact. Again, I will be doing evil content when we get to Bag End because I can't right now because everything is locked. So I hope you guys will like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to get it to grow because, again, I want to get to the point where I can get the top up link and I can do these random drawings to help out the players, give back to the community. Because honestly, the majority of the Lord of the Rings Rise to War community is great. We all talk. For the most part, we get along. It's about all of us having fun. Nobody has the right to take away the fun. So